It's always funny to see developers completely lose the plot. Their job is to make a game and then sell that game, but then they say, "Oh, I don't like your personal politics, so don't buy my game," which is mind boggling. But the Real Game Awards has upset so many people, and a few of the developers who were either nominated or straight up won in certain categories are melting down, saying, "I didn't give you permission to highlight or talk about my game, and I need you to rescind my reward." But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, of course, there are certain people online who can't just be good sports and say to themselves, "You know what? Hey, this person who I might disagree with politically created this award show and they happen to give my product attention." They could say thank you. They could say, "Yeah, we've never agreed on everything, but I guess that's cool. Thanks for the free press and thanks for the sales." But there are so many people who are so upset over the fact that Craig would dare to create an alternative from the Game Awards. They don't sit here and complain about the Golden Joysticks or the New York Game Awards because those are ran by mainstream media shills and people who they agree with politically. But when somebody dares to create it and they don't agree with them, oh my God, they're going to attack you tooth and nail for it. And just a few days ago, the Sulaco developers were very upset with the fact that their game was highlighted and that their trailer was shown off. And the lead coder and one other dev had actually called Stuttering Craig and his show an angry culture war, desperate to find relevancy. And one server member actually falsely accused Craig of harassing people. And Craig is a genuinely great guy. From all of the interactions I've had with him, all of these situations that he's been a part of, he's never been somebody who's been a terrible human being who has ever harassed anybody. These are just wild claims to make. But I guess when you dislike somebody so much, you're going to create straight up lies to try to smear them. It just shows that he's got a few haters because he, again, dared to throw an event where he celebrates games. But these developers were freaking out, saying no idea what that is, but the name implies it's hosted by a bunch of people who got so mad over something as stupid as an award show that they decided to host their own. Which, yes, you can say that award shows are completely stupid. I think most of them personally are stupid because usually it's just industry shills patting themselves on the back. But when it's a fan funded and ran event, I think that that is a pretty fucking cool idea. It's not like with the Game Awards where 90% of the vote is by people who are actually paid to shill for these companies and for certain products, and only 10% of the fan vote counts. But they go on to say, "How do I undo our nomination? He seems way too much of a culture war grifter, and I don't have any energy for either side of those." But they clearly did take a side because they made a bunch of statements saying, "Hey, listen, we're not affiliated with this. We don't want our trailer shown or highlighted, and we don't want these types of people to show up and buy our game." Which, hey, if that's the way you want to feel, totally. You tell people not to buy your game. You'd think as an indie developer, you would just be happy that people are discussing your product and are willing to, nominate it against thousands upon thousands and thousands of other titles. But some people in this world just can't be grateful. And now another individual is melting down over this, saying, "Oh my God, I need you to rescind my award," which is just so hilarious. So this person named PSX Bunlith had said, "So honored to have won the coveted Anti-Woke Game Awards Best Racing Game category. As a trans woman, it's so comforting to see them prioritize diversity, equality, and inclusion." By the way, the E doesn't stand for equality, it stands for equity, you dumb fuck. But they also say that they're going to have gay sex with their troon dog girl. They just are melting down over this. And nobody brought up the fact that they were transgender. Nobody cared because we say this all the time. If you are good at your job, your identity should not matter. Okay? It's like if you have a team of 95% women or people of color, but they can create an amazing game, that's fantastic. And I am still going to praise the product that they made. It's like with people and their political leaning. Everybody's going to have different opinions on politics. Nobody is ever going to be exactly the same and think the same exact thing. So if you can leave your personal politics at the door when you're going to work, I do not give a fuck what your political leaning is. I don't care if a game is made by 95% radical leftists. If you can make something amazing, that is what matters at the end of the day. But instead of just being like, hey, they actually highlighted a transgender developer, this is pretty cool. They are melting down, but Craig didn't bring their identity into the conversation, but it's the only personality trait that these people have. They always have to point out the fact that they're transgender or non-binary. It's all their personality really is, which is, by the way, what we complain about in video games and entertainment in totality, because when you go, oh, by the way, I happen to be this really courageous or passionate person and I happen to be gay, that's going to be fine. The problem becomes when it's, oh, I'm gay, this is my girlfriend, slay. Oh, by the way, I happen to be like a kind of cool, confident person. That is an issue in storytelling, but these people don't know the difference. And of course, Craig responded in a very gracious manner, saying the post below was both a quote tweet and a response to the trans developer who was trying to be snarky about winning an award at the Real Game Awards. My response was honest and in good faith. This person's response, hide it from the post and block me, as it doesn't fit their internalized victim narrative and public narrative they want to spin. Somehow, while this person was literally getting praise for their work, they were able to spin that into being a victim. And by the way, I thought their game looked really fucking cool. It's called Nightmare Kart. It's like a Bloodborne kart game. That looked sick as shit and I would have played it, but now I'm not going to go out of my way and support them. I would have if they hadn't have thrown a hissy fit, but they're going even one step further because they're saying, rescind my reward. I did not give you permission. You never asked for permission like every other award show that has approached me. This is true for other devs' games. You put in your show, you did not ask, remove it now, which is not the way that it works. First of all, your game's teasers and trailers are on the internet for the public to see. Therefore, I could bring it up on my screen right now and I could show it as long as I'm giving commentary on it. It's not a problem. But second of all, this is a straight up lie. Look at Queso. He won the Game Awards just a few weeks back and he said, I wasn't even approached. I didn't fucking know I was nominated until they had actually made the nominations public. They didn't reach out to him. They didn't even invite him to go, as far as we are aware, because he was asked and he didn't give an answer. So that's not entirely true. Are they going to clarify? Absolutely not. Are they going to say, yeah, my information's a little outdated? And sure, you can sit here and criticize Craig all you want for not reaching out. Perfectly understandable. As a developer, you totally want to know what's going on with your work. You want to know when people are talking about it. And you could say, hey, I wish you had reached out. That would have been much more professional. I'm sure that he would have said, you know what, we will take that into consideration for next year. Totally understandable. We hope that, you're happy to see that so many people appreciate your work. But it didn't go that far because this person cannot act like a normal, level-headed adult. And they're saying, oh, we demand that you remove it now, and you didn't ask. He did not have to ask. These people are absolutely insane, and they are never grateful for anybody talking about them, which is not going to lead to sales in the end. And people are roasting this person, saying, dude, shut the fuck up. You accepted the award when you said you were honored to win it. Yeah, this also is a very good point. They had said, yeah, by the way, we're so honored to have won the coveted anti-woke game awards for the racing category. Like, you literally accepted it. You could have said straight from the start you were upset over this, but this is a pathetic attempt to stir up more drama. You got your 15 minutes of fame already. My girl, you gotta commit if you're going to be passive-aggressive. Make another meme with your OC or something. That usually helps. So, yeah, there are a lot of people who are very upset over the Real Game Awards and what Stutter and Craig did, but but hey, I give him big props for coming up with something. And next year is going to be an in-person event as far as we're aware, which is going to be even bigger and even better, I'm sure. With that comes even more meltdowns, which is going to be hilarious. But I will be keeping my eye on this situation to see if this individual makes any other statements. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.